do what you need to do so you can do what you want to do. And that's my purpose. That's why I feel like I was even put on this earth. Like, and you got to find out like what is for you and what's not for you. Like, my name is Spencer Morris, and this is episode 1 of Beyond the Art podcast. I'm making this podcast to create a hub for creatives across the city of Philadelphia to have a platform where they can feel inspired, they can feel motivated, and they can just have a place to go and learn from other creatives. So yeah, that's why I'm creating this platform. I feel like the city of Philadelphia has some of the most talented people in the country, in the world, in my opinion. But we not as big as LA. We not as big as in New York. We have a smaller market. And I feel like one of our biggest problems is that our creative scene isn't too great at supporting each other. And I could be tripping. I know I've heard about New York and how hard it is to get on. I've heard about LA and how hard it is to get on. But I feel like by the same token, Philly is a lot like that. So I'm creating this podcast. I'm putting my little hand in the little creative scene right here. And I'm trying to create something to uplift people, to bring people together, to have this platform where everybody could just learn from each other and just be able to, have a place to go to feel motivated, to feel inspired. And I'm inspiring myself just by doing this podcast and getting myself out of my own creative rut and just being able to have a source where people can just come and talk and have these like important conversations, because it's really just, it's hard. It's really difficult to be a creative, yet alone be a creative coming from the city of Philadelphia. And just a little bit about my background. I started off doing photography. So I did photography for a couple of years. After a while, I'm gonna just keep it a bean. I ended up hating it. You feel me? Because I started working this full-time job where I was using my own equipment, using my own stuff, and I was doing photography, and I got burnt out like bad. After working that full-time job and I was taking pictures and all that for the man, you know what I'm saying? I stopped doing photography. I ain't touched my camera for at least 2 years after that. Like, well, it was really a year for real, because I stopped working that job last year. So I didn't touch my camera. And really 2 years, because as I was working that job, I did no creative pursuits. Like, I was just working that job and I was using my camera for the job. And I got burnt out. Like, I stopped doing photography and I got in the creative rut. I think it is very important to try to continue to be creative while you're working a full-time job, but by the same token, you can learn and find out quickly what is for you and what is not for you as you're in that journey, you know what I mean? And for me personally, I love photography for a certain point, but I realized for me in that lane, I hated doing commercial photography. I don't like doing things that are super professional, super superficial. I got to go take pictures at this corporate sector, or I have to make sure his headshot is well lit, or whatever the case may be. I don't like that. I was a more creative photographer, and I felt like my creativeness kind of got flushed out of my body as I'm sitting here trying to make the paycheck. And that's something that really just needs to be unpacked. And I feel like that's why this platform is important. And I feel like this platform is something that the creatives within the city of Philadelphia need. I just really feel like it's just so necessary for you to find out what's in your lane and what's not in your lane. And that brings me to a very important point. Something my mom used to always tell me every single day of my life. She used to always say, Spence, you have to do what you need to do so you can do what you want to do. And for me, I feel like my entire life, I've been doing nothing but doing what I need to do all the time. I went to school, I go to work, I make sure this person's good, I make sure that person's good, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's important to be able to carve out time to be able to do what you want to do. And what my mom meant by that is that you need to do the things that you need to do to be able to give yourself the space to award yourself with the things that you actually want to do. You can't just go out in this world and do whatever you want to do without taking care of your responsibilities first. And that's what I kind of want to unpack here within this podcast, is just artists and creators who are trying to juggle that balance. And even me doing this podcast is a form of me doing what I want to do. I had this idea And I've been working for 2+ years full time, and this is me now taking that step to be able to do what I want to do. And so in that, a big part of doing what you need to do is, especially with like being a creative, especially in the poorest large city in America, which is Philadelphia, is juggling things like work, juggling things like your finances. And so something that I learned was that I had to do every single thing I could do to be able to pursue what it is that I wanted to do despite the finances. And so for me, I was saving up for a camera. So what I was doing, I was going around doing Uber Eats or doing odd jobs, but doing like weird little jobs, shoveling snow, raking leaves and all that. When I was in school, I would sell clothes and, flip this to eventually just be able, I was working at Lowe's for an entire summer. I took every single check I had from Lowe's, with the exception of like little money for food, to save up and buy a camera. And that's not easy. And not everybody has the willpower and the discipline to be able to do that. And I'm not saying that I was all disciplined and crazy because da da da, but I just wanted to be creative so bad that I made a way for myself to be able to do that. And I was fortunate enough to be able to have that mindset and just be able to go and be creative and grow and actually take a leap to go buy some shit I actually wanted. You know what I mean? So yeah, like that little story right there, that is the essence of the message that I'm trying to push out to the city of Philadelphia, to young Black creatives in Philadelphia, male or female. That's the message that I'm trying to put out. That especially for episode 1, this one is going to be called, now I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but this one is going to be called "Do What You Need to Do So You Can Do What You Want to Do." And that's my purpose. That's why I feel like I was even put on this earth. Like, and you got to find out like what is for you and what's not for you. Like for me, yeah, like I started doing photography. I ended up getting burnt out creatively. And something that I keep hearing from all my friends, my family, whatever the case may be, is that I'm a great conversationalist. So I'm just figuring out a way of how can I take all the things that I've learned creatively and package it into like the ultimate platform, that is like the ultimate like form of just like self-expression. And we want to build this thing up episode by episode. We want to have different conversations with different artists, different creatives of all types of mediums. Like it don't even gotta just be photography, videography. You could be a musical artist, you could be a model, you could be a painter, you could be a fucking skateboarder for all I care. Like, you know what I'm saying? As long as you have a craft and it's something that you're working on to continue to get to the next level, those are the people that I'm trying to inspire specifically within the city of Philadelphia. And I'm hoping that this expands bigger than the city one day. Like I want to be able to interview and talk to people across the country, up and down the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, whatever the case may be. Like that's what I aspire to do. So I'm taking that step. I'm taking that leap forward. I'm doing what I need to do so I can do what I want to do. And we're going to see where this podcast takes me. I'm definitely open to all kinds of suggestions, conversation topics. By the time everybody see this, I'm going to have like a whole website. So it's going to be beyondtheartpodcast.com. I'm going to have everything on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever podcasts are released is going to be there. YouTube. It's definitely going to be primarily a visual podcast, only because like I don't really think anybody in my age group listens to podcasts. They watch them. If I got the resources to record and release video, that's what I'm going to do. And we're going to do it episode by episode, and we're going to build up and we're going to have these important conversations. So yeah, like I said, my name is Spencer Morris, and this is Beyond the Art Podcast. So let's hope like y'all can tap in. And honestly, and this is the last thing I'm touch on too. And I'm gonna keep it a being, like whether 2 people watch this or 2 million people watch this, like this is really just about the product itself. It's about the podcast itself. It's about the art itself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be hell bent on viewership or clickbait or not even like the most hottest trending topics. Like I really want this to be like a deep dive where people can go to and have a source. And then now there's going to be an element of that as well. Like obviously we want to have fun. Like we want to have fun conversations, and we're going to be here and we're going to be there and we're going to be there and we're going to be there. And I got so many different ideas of how this podcast is going to roll out, and different ideas of where I'm going to record. Right now I'm in my apartment right now, so this is just me just taking a leap, getting in front of the camera that I didn't pick up in 2 years, and just doing what I need to do. Definitely stay tuned. We're going to have a lot more episodes, and this is going to be great conversation. So I don't care whether two people or 2 million people tune in. Like this is just for the people that want to hear it. So definitely stay tuned.